Hello lovelies, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rainhabello, and if this is the first time that you are coming across this face, I'm saying hello, nice to have you on here. Like I said in my previous, on this channel, on here, we have a goal as a sister to another to help each other grow and become better versions of ourselves, just to see ourselves do greater things in general. So yeah, today I'm getting into the business of the day. Yeah, I am going to be talking about a topic that I feel it can be a table shaking one, but it has to be said, and I'm gonna say it. So what am I talking about? Girl friendships. Yeah, you heard that right. Girl friendships, real or fake? I want you guys to tell me, like in the comment section, what has been your experience with fellow girls, like being in cliques or just friendships, flatmates, all of it in general. What has been your experience? Has it been like bittersweet or just like flawless? You guys just moved on from being acquaintances to best of girlies to sisters, or has it just been like sour in general? Like I want to know what your experiences have been like, because I used to be one of those girls that used to be like, I don't do girl friendships, they're too chaotic. I'd rather just roll with the boys because they're like less problematic and it's just easier, but I guess like transitioning from a timid myopic little girl into a full-grown woman, I've come to understand and own my respect and love for womanhood. I love womanhood. I love femininity. I love my sisters. I love my mother. I love my girlfriends. And I think the community of us women, girls, is just awesome and amazing because in general I see women as a miracle. We are the very essence of life, and I would always say, and I'm saying again, that even in my next life and the next and the next, if there's any ever, I still want to be a girl. Yeah, you heard that right. So I'm sorry, my ex is getting in my face. Talking about women and all these beautiful things that I've had to say about us, does that mean we are perfect? Not exactly. I would say we might be a bit far from perfect, but are we awesome? Yes. Are we amazing? 100% yes, we are. So we're not perfect, and that includes me. I have my shortcomings, regardless of how much I try to be better every day, regardless of how much there's a lot of self-development talk, there's a lot of I want to be better, do better, it's the very core of us being human. I think that's just the main of our humanity. Eventually we are not we are not perfect. We are not male, female, we are just not perfect, but the coming together of 1 and 2 and 3, it just makes everything better, and maybe that's where the perfection comes from. So girl friendships, I remember in school, I used to be part of a clique, I had like my own girl gang. I rolled around together and everything, and it was so crazy how eventually everyone just went their separate ways, and I do not even think like that I speak to as many of any of those girls anymore. And it's just so funny how you can be in a particular position right now, or a phase of life right now, where you have all these people around you and they're so pertinent to like your day-to-day life, and then you wake up one day and they're just not there anymore, and they're like total strangers. You don't talk anymore, you don't see each other anymore, and I'm like, it's just so weird. Like it's just so weird, the fact that 1 minute this person is like they're like a part of your everyday life, and the next minute you just don't see them anymore. And it's another funny thing that I've observed is how for us girls, we tend to take, like, you need to see a girl willing over heartbreaks. How some girls would even go as much as threatening to take to harm their own selves, and it's always so devastating, and you can just see all the sadness and how they just want to quit on life. And then if it's a girl friendship gone south. It's like, you know, screw it. I mean, she's this, she's that. You don't care. And I'm like, it's so crazy because we actually do need each other. And then for that saying, you know, that people would say women supporting women, I'm like, I've never heard anybody say men supporting women. I don't even think that's a thing, like men supporting men. Well, why? I feel like these are the little vices that actually causes division with women. I'm not saying that, you know, some people do not have their issues, like, you know, girl friendship doesn't have its own nuances. Yeah, it might have its issues and all of that, but, you know, outrightly cutting off keeping female friendships because you feel females or girls in general are just like troublesome, or I don't know. It's just that eventually you are inclusive in that theory of like girls are troublesome and problematic. It means you are as well, you know, because if there are two friends and they keep having issues, I'm not saying that one person cannot be like, you know, more badly behaved than the other, but to an extent there's going to be one minute thing that you're probably doing to contribute to the chaos that's going on in that friendship. I'm not trying to like enable bad behavior or anything, but I'm just trying to say, you know, if you can, you know, deal with the fact that you are in a relationship with like the opposite gender and they do things that you do not like, they say things that you do not like, they talk to you in ways that you do not appreciate, and you can seem to forgive them, or you can deal with the relationship and its shortcomings from your partner. Like, why do we not extend that level of mercy to our friends, our girlfriends? You know, why do we outrightly want to just get a garden scissors and just chop them off? Like, you know, get out, just, you know, just throw that friendship out the window without even giving it a second chance. But if it were some brother from the you know, other camp, I mean, you just keep forgiving and you're like enabling and all that. So I'm like, why? I mean, I'm saying all of this because I had an experience of lately where through, you know, just going about life, I found myself in a space with very beautiful, amazing, intelligent young women, and, you know, it was just so therapeutic. We would come home, all laugh and gist, and it was just like the most interesting thing. Like, you know, you just knew you were going to get to meet somebody. We would eat together, we would talk about stuff, we would say the nastiest and funniest things, we would shade each other and all of that. And then, you know, for some reasons, you know, people had to move on. Some just naturally had to move on because, okay, it was time to move on. And then for some, you know, it was just one or two falling out. And I'm like, how does this even happen? How are you so chill with somebody and you can just turn off on them, like, without you know, thinking about it? I don't know, like, I guess from my expression you can tell how I feel, like how this puzzles my mind a lot. Like, how can you just say, okay, I'm done, bye, and you move? See, when it comes to friendship, I totally understand that some people can be very, they can be a little too much, especially women. They can just be like so intense. But that's where the word boundary comes in. That's where you tend to set your boundaries and not be a people pleaser. Like, for me, I've come to realize that I like what I like, I don't like what I don't like, and I am not going to inconvenience myself to deal with your excesses. And the fact that I'm not going to do that doesn't mean I have to like be brutish about it with you, or I have to be mean about it. I'm just going to let you know, like, you know, setting boundaries isn't cruelty. It is not me being cruel. It's just me being clear with you. It is clarity, not cruelty. So I feel like, you know, when you feel like people are extending, you know, an arm of friendship, like another girl is extending an arm of friendship that you do not appreciate, you know, you can always call it out in the most, like, in the most respectful way. Because I understand that sometimes some girl friendships are based off of just group of girls bonding over gossip and like all sorts of terrible, you know, terrible character flaws. I mean, I might not be totally innocent of that, but, you know, like I said, this channel is, you know, us growing together, calling out ourselves on things that are not right, and wanting to see ourselves do better, be a better version of ourselves. And, you know, I understand that sometimes girl friendships, it comes with some unniceness, like, you know, the silent comparison, gossip, I mentioned that, you know, backhanded comments in the name of friendships and all of that. I totally get all of those things, but eventually eventually, I mean, you cannot just, there's something that I'm dealing with presently, and then, for example, my YouTube channel, let me use that as an example. My YouTube channel is more of a girl, woman, female community in practical sense. So let's say I insist that I do not care for female friendships, that I only want to be friends with the opposite gender. What opposite gender is going to sit down here and listen to me talk about the things that I'm talking about, and is mostly reflective of girl business. So there are times like, oh, should I let me say, okay, let me say I want to let me say I want to throw a party. I want to organize a party. We all know that this is the girl, this is our own aspect. We girls, we know how to do all these paparazzi things. Am I going to pick my guy friend and say, okay, come and go to, no matter how chilled that guy is, how soft that guy is, or certain like, you know, sensitive topics, there's certain things you want to talk to somebody, you want to talk about as a lady, that is just can be best understood by another lady, not a guy. Okay, let's say I want to talk about my monthly cycle. I'm not saying there aren't men that have like ideas about these things or not, but you know, it's easier when I'm talking about it with another lady that experiences that as a part of her life as well. Unlike another guy that has probably studied it maybe through the course of having a, or maybe studied it as a profession, like a gynecologist or something. It's still different. It's still different. There's certain things you want to talk about. There's certain things that we women feel like hormonal imbalance, like, you know, the way our body operates, that, you know, you can only understand it better by talking to another lady, by experiencing it, with sharing that experience with a girl as yourself. So as much as it can be a bit cumbersome, I'm not going to lie, yes, it can be cumbersome sometimes, you know, keeping female friendships, because it's just a whole lot of imbalance running around. It's just a whole lot of mood swings, a whole lot of. But eventually, you know, you will not ride a car anymore because you had an accident. People didn't stop flying in planes because planes crash. So you know, saying you're totally going to write off the entire, I'm not saying, I understand that some people will watch this video and be like, maybe like say girls never do you something, like you've not experienced certain things. I totally get that. I've had my fair share of like wrong female friendships, and I've also had my fair share of amazing, beautiful women, you know, being there for me in times that I needed them. I remember there was a time in my life where I was so down. I was so down. My mom said, call a friend. I didn't call a guy, I called girls. You know, I called two of my friends girls. They weren't even one of them wasn't even in the country at the time. I just want to say, God bless your hearts. I appreciate you guys. And you know, as much as we all have our excesses, we are not going to say being in a relationship or a friendship thingy with the other opposite gender, you know, you've not had like, you know, you've never been offended, you know. So I don't know if this is more of me advocating for like people friendships and all of that, but I'm just saying that you know, women are amazing, and I want to say thank you to all the beautiful women that I have come across in my life, to all of those that have genuinely liked a thing or two about me. I want to say I love you so much. And you know, as much as you can decide to, you know, so people post on their WhatsApp status, haters be like, haters wanna, bitch be like, excuse me, I'm not sure I'm supposed to use that word, probably gonna blur that out, but girls can't hate on me, and all those things that I do not know about stuff, but I see those things and I'm like, girl, you can do better. Like, girl, be for real. Like, just stop it, you know. So I'm like, as much as you can want to get like the biggest scissors in the world, I want to cut off bad friendships or people that you, I'm not gonna lie, some people are like totally toxic. Yes, I totally get that, and you just need to like keep them at arm's length. I get that as well, but at the same time, when it's just like, if it's something that can be forgiven, you know, let us extend the same hand of mercy that we extend to the opposite gender to our own gender, you know. And then just be a girl's girl. Sometimes it's nice, and some people are just so lucky, they just, you know, meeting, just, you know, they just bond with a girl, and it's like happily ever after, they're besties for life, like to like their old age. Like I see those videos on TikTok of like grannies that have been friends for like decades, and they're still friends and they can't do it without each other. And you know, it's a beautiful thing. So as much as you can call out and intend to cut off supposed, unnice friendships in the girl community. Let us take our time to appreciate the ones that stick out their necks for us, that are always there, that are our bedrock, that are our support system. The girl is girl, that regardless of whatever, they're there to rejoice with you, they're there to support you, they're there to appreciate you when you're in the limelight. They're there to just be there. They're just there to be sure that you're fine, and they care for you. They want to cry with you. They're there when you're whining and complaining. They're there when you're happy and elated about something. Let's appreciate those ones as well. Go an extra mile to say thank you. The ones who would give their widow's mite for you, regardless, come what may. If it's a hug, if it's an high five, if it's a little cute perfume, just say thank you to that friend, that girlfriend that has been there in your space and has been like a sister. Even if it's your sister as well, like my sister, she's my world. I love her so much. And I also have beautiful friends. I'm grateful for all the friends around me. I just want to say thank you guys, and I want to say let's continue to foster love, unity, and light amongst us girls. And that's enough said for one episode. So see you in my next one. Love you guys. Bye.